Whenever. You know, you gotta love how long it takes for everything to catch up when we go live.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it's like a 10-second delay.
Okay, we got one from last Sunday with Stoner Steve, Shitstained Steve, and one from Thursday posted.
Wait, so Twitch is actually recording the videos now?
Okay, so yeah, it's like doing its thing.
Good.
Cool.
That's what we wanted. Hey, everybody, welcome to Mayhem's Amigos. I am TJ. That is Adam. That is the so-called stoner champion, Chronic Chris. However, he says he's going to outsmoke the Stain.
Shit, he ain't got a chance in hell.
Oh, man, I could not wait for this. I'm thinking that needs to happen, like, you know, around Thanksgiving. Like, you guys have got to be prepared for it. And then I need a day off to really do this.
Being prepared, the only thing I've eaten today is cereal, Lucky Charms, and fruit snacks.
Lucky Charms is a...
We need a good way to figure out, though, how to measure who's in the lead and who's not.
Well, I mean,
it's going to be an event that's going to be held on location somewhere in Illinois. Somewhere amongst the butt crack of Illinois.
I'm telling you, man, like, Steve is saying, you haven't got him. No way. Because, dude, he's hitting like 99% THC vape pens. And
come on with it.
You're still hitting flower, right?
I'll bust out a pen any fucking day.
I mean, you'll bust out a pen, a steamroller, you'll bust out whatever you can. But what I'm saying is, Steve's normal is these basically high octane pens, and you're, no, I got him. But you smoke constantly, but Steve hits these high octane like crazy, and then goes into obliteration mode.
Yeah, and that's why Steve's going to fall out long before Chronic.
But if Steve paces himself,
we're going to be sitting there we're going to be sitting there playing some dominoes, and Steve's going to drop.
I'm telling you, I mean, I'm serious, dude. I think it's a toss-up. I've known you, but I know Steve too. And when you guys have this smoke off, I don't know. I'm trying to flip a coin and figure it out, but I cannot figure it out.
It'll be fun to watch, I think.
Oh, wait. Steve says to you, Chris, that he has been partaking for over 35 years, so his tolerance is pretty high.
Hey, the only time I quit smoking was when I was in prison, and even then I still got a hold of some weed.
I figured the only time you quit smoking is when you were asleep.
Oh, no. I've been known to actually smoke a joint in my sleep.
How the hell does that work?
You get so stoned, you fucking sleepwalk.
It's like I've heard of wake and bake, but getting stoned and snore?
Stoned and snore? That might be a new one.
So you know how some people will fall asleep with their beer in their hand, wake up about a couple hours later, take a couple of drinks of their beer, put it down, and pass back out?
Yeah.
I'll do that with weed sometimes.
I mean, you know what I'm saying is it's just like there's this, and it's like you guys have been back and forth with this for a couple of weeks now. I'm going, yeah, it's about time.
Well, you know, like
we gotta have this happen.
Wrestling match, boxing match, any good throwdown, you know, you gotta have some trash talk.
Well, Steve said that he wants to do it to raise money for a good cause.
That's true. I actually have the perfect cause to raise money for.
Well, if I'm doing it, we got to do, at least something for Asgard.
Well, we could do Asgard, or I've got a great idea. We could raise money to assist in the Steve Stanton Prostitution Amendment Act.
Oh, I thought we were gonna raise money for Steve's medical bills afterwards.
No, I think if we raise money for the Steve Stanton Prostitution Amendment Act, which is to pass a constitutional amendment legalizing prostitution nationwide, I think that would be a good cause.
I think it would too. I mean, it's one of those things that you ain't really gonna stop it from happening.
Right.
So, like everything else, like whatever, they should find a way to tax it and regulate it. And
well, why not make a little money on it? Right. Help the national debt. Let's do something. And let's face it. Look at countries that have prostitution legal. Okay. Let's look at this for a minute. Countries that have legalized prostitution already, and they're getting their taxes, and they're doing the blood tests, and they're doing everything they need to do. The divorce rate in those countries is lower, and the rate of domestic violence is lower. There is so many benefits to prostitution being legal that it needs to be passed. I'm sorry, it has to happen.
The Steve
I think it would be great.
Prostitution Act of 2025.
I agree. I say that is the cause that you guys should raise some money for. Obviously, let's take about 20%. Let's put it towards Asgard, but let's take the other 80% and let's put it towards the Steve Stanton Prostitution Act of 2025. That's a benefit to the country.
Why not a more 50-50 split?
Oh, we could do 50-50. I mean, Steve, would you be opposed to 50-50 on that? Chris, would you be opposed to 50-50?
No.
Well, there you go. Okay. So half the money is going to legalizing hookers, and the other half is going to make sure that bands can travel the country. And we're also trying to raise money to assist bands in having proper entertainment.
And not just the good ones, the shitty ones too, because they're trying.
You got to make sure
they're trying.
Yeah. Hey, as everybody knows, I'm in the process of writing 6 Years in Las Cruces, and dude, I'm getting ready to start chapter 6 now. That's been in a week. So, and Chris is like automatically like, fuck you and your fucking book. It don't have any pictures, so I don't fucking care.
I read.
Okay. Just making sure you're paying attention. But
in fact, right now I'm in the process of this one.
Oh, that's a good book.
It is.
So I'm actually bringing up.
Starts off with the dude killing his brother, and it explains why.
So I'm bringing up the transcript for 6 Years right now. I've actually got it on the computer ready to go because I've been working on it like that. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to read you guys an excerpt out of the book to what I've got so far. Now, a lot of this, I will admit, a lot of this is in first person. But so this is something that did not happen, but I'm going to, I wrote it as part of the entertainment. So Squirrel shows up at the apartment. There was some conversation that happened, and then TJ goes in to grab a shower. And here is where I'm going to pick it up. After my shower,
wait. The Squirrel Master's in your story?
Squirrel, my friend Squirrel.
Oh, okay.
All right. Look,
I thought he was going to go around making people his bitch.
Every character is based on a real live person, but I punched everything up. So this gives you this is nothing that happened, but I'm going to read this excerpt. After my shower, I quickly wrapped a towel around my waist and looked in the mirror. May not be very big, but I was happy that I still had my 6-pack abs and I was still very toned. And I was thinking about growing my facial hair again. My hair was considerably longer than it was in the military, but the best trait I had was still my eyes. They're a bright blue and what usually gets me into trouble with women. Not even thinking about it, I walked out of the bathroom to go to my bedroom and get dressed when I was greeted by more than just Squirrel in my living room. They're standing in the kitchen with Scuba and Ange. They too were waiting for PJ to show up to take us to the show with the van. Ange started cheering and jumping up and down, saying, "Whoa, I didn't know we were getting a show before the show."
A pre-show. There you go.
Causing me to start blushing. Scuba yells right after her, "Take it off, big boy!" Embarrassed, I head to my room, to my bedroom, to the laughter of everyone else. And quickly got myself dressed. I put on a black Matco Tools t-shirt, pair of boxers, blue jeans, riding boots, motorcycle jacket, and walked back into my living room. The other three were standing there laughing at me. "You could have warned me, Squirrel." She goes, "Yeah, I could have, but where's the fun in that?" That's all I'm giving you. That's it. That's the taste.
Now, with the way you were looking at yourself in the mirror, it sounds like you were really in love with yourself and wanted to.
I was trying to give good descriptions, and
I have the most sexy eyes. They are so soulful. Look deeply into them.
Squirrel has the entire transcript right now to this point, and I'm waiting for her notes because she is assisting me in writing this. She's kind of playing editor at this point. So once I get her notes, then I'm going to go back and
I look into my eyes and say, "I'd fuck me."
Oh, don't worry. I'm going to have you, when I do the second book, you are in the second book. And I'm going to have you hitting on truckers driving Peterbilts. I swear to God, I'm going to make sure it's in there.
I mean, do you sometimes look in the mirror and weenie tuck and "I'd fuck me"?
No.
Get on some Buffalo Bill shit.
No, now I look in the mirror and I'm going, "Oh my God. When the fuck did Picasso put me together? Jesus Christ. I'm a modern art fucking masterpiece over here."
Yes,
So,
Tommy, we're all wondering what we just walked into.
It's TJ. You never know what the fuck you
But
just
dude,
walked
no,
into.
I mean, I have written like a bunch of different stuff into this so far. Like, I did get the story of when Squirrel puked all over PJ's shoes. That was great. Let's see. I got my first night at the club. I got where I walked in, and one of the patrons at the club was jacking himself off while I was just trying to wash my hands.
Imagining your very soft hands, I imagine.
Honey, I need you to tell the story about the security camera on TV at the bar.
Oh, were you caught jacking off? Do you have chronic masturbation syndrome?
Not me.
Are you sure?
I am 100% sure. She's "Oh, hell no, I don't want to tell that story and relive this shit." But apparently,
Tommy, I have no judgment on what you said. Tommy says, "What the hell did I tune into? Gay letters to the editor?" And he goes, "Oh, maybe I can't say that anymore." Steve says,
hold on, she's got a good one for you.
Steve says he looks in the mirror and he goes, "Oh shit, my dick is missing."
So my wife was sitting at the bar one day. And there's these two guys. And they were pretty fucking drunk.
Well, they were drunk anyway.
They were a couple of town drunks.
Okay.
And it turns out one guy starts jerking off the other guy underneath the bar, and they got it on camera. And while the guy's doing it, they started playing it on the TV.
Oh my God!
It's got the jacker on Jumbotron.
That sounds like some shit that I would do. I mean, it really does. It sounds like some shit I would have done. I'm proud of them.
The bartender had said to the owner, something at the end of the bar is going on. They're acting kind of weird. They look kind of strange. Maybe like dealing drugs under the bar or something. Like something was going on. And he goes, oh, well, let's see. So he put the camera on the TV to see if they were doing a drug.
Oh, they were dealing something all right.
They definitely were. The cops came after they called. The cops were like, we have it on video. Do you want to see it? The cops was like, no.
No, we're good. We're good.
We trust you.
Mr. Sir and Miss Sir, you may leave now. Why don't you go home and flying 69 each other?
That's the bars in Dwight.
Makes you happy to be in Central City, Kentucky, doesn't it?
We got the Legion and the Eagles Club.
Man, we had an Eagles Club down here, which my grandpa was a big part of, but the Eagles Lodge is closed.
I don't consider Holly J's a bar.
What's Holly J's?
It's a restaurant. So
that's okay.
A restaurant that sells
down
alcohol.
Here, if you can seat so many people in your establishment, if you can seat more than, I think it's more than 50 people in your establishment, you can apply for a liquor license.
Now, I do have to address one comment. Tommy said after his comment, he's like, oh, maybe I can't say that anymore. No, I'm okay. You say whatever is on your mind. I will let you know if I find it offensive, but no, I mean, that's your opinion.
Yeah, we don't know what Facebook would say, but that's
right.
their
deal.
deal.
Facebook might
they
say
can
something.
deal with that.
I personally don't care what Facebook thinks.
Well, I mean, Facebook is
my page for me to post whatever I want.
Facebook is very good at throwing my listeners into Facebook jail.
Well, and it's also very good at trying to censor and tell you who you should vote for.
Well, I'm done with all that. Tuesday morning, I am going up to the polls after I get off of work, and I am voting. And I have early voting. I'm going to vote and get it done, and fuck the bullshit. And all I'm going to tell anybody is I am voting my conscience, and I'm leaving it at that. Above and beyond that, I am going very old school with this election. Who'd you vote for? I voted my conscience. Well, who was that? None of your motherfucking business.
Exactly.
When I step in there and I close that curtain, that is my decision. The end. I don't care.
While we're talking about this, I literally got a text message about politics and whether or not I was going to vote or whatever, and just across the board, I just blocked that number immediately. It's like, I will vote when I go to vote. Who I vote for is none of your concern.
Thank you, Fat 420. I may have to change that scrolling banner. It ain't Mayhem's Amigos if you ain't been in Facebook jail.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm not voting for the devil.
Like I said, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to vote my conscience, and that's it. Who am I voting for? It's not your damn business. I am voting my conscience.
Voting for Nunya.
All you need, for all you know, I may have voted for myself to jack off in the middle of the town square in Llano, okay?
He's voting for Al Donnelly. Come on.
Oh, shit.
If you don't know who that is, y'all need to watch a movie and get a fucking life.
Yeah, no shit. Like, all right, here you go. Tommy says it best. He's not a Tim or a Harris fan by any stretch, but he just watched Hulk Hogan followed by Dr. Phil stumping at a Trump rally. What the fuck alternate reality are we really in here? I mean, my God.
Well,
so remember when politics seemed at least kind of normal? Now,
politics has never been normal.
Well, I mean, normal for them, but now we're pulling in like just whoever.
I'm waiting for Trump to show up and go, and now here to speak with me is my good friend and not convicted rapist yet, Vince McMahon.
Well, if you just watch Hulk Hogan and Dr. Phil, be glad Mr. T wasn't in there. Pity the fool who don't vote.
No kidding, man. I mean, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Oh, Taylor Swift comes out and goes, all of my fans, if you're really my fans, you'll vote for Harris. Fuck you.
Well,
and it just annoys me.
I guess I'm not a true Swiftie. Darn.
But let's face it, all right? 20 years ago, famous people getting involved in politics, nah.
Didn't happen.
It didn't happen at all. Yes, exactly. Tommy's right.
I'm sorry. You need to go back a little bit further.
30 years ago.
20 years wasn't that long ago.
Tommy has it right. No, normal, they were just deeper in the closet. Exactly.
They didn't have the internet to put all their business out there.
I mean, it was, remember back in the 80s and the 90s, you saw the president come on. That was time to turn the fucking channel. If you had cable. If you didn't have cable, you were fucked. Find a VCR tape.
That was Dad's TV time.
Like, damn it. You didn't, it was like, all right, you got informed. That was it. CNN came out. They made the Operation Desert Storm worldwide television. And it's been downhill ever since. Ever since. My favorite time
You know who I really blame?
Who?
The Clintons.
You know what my favorite time of the campaign season was every single year? You want to know what it was?
Primaries.
The day they did the SNL episode that revolved around the election. It was all the political satire on Saturday Night Live. That was my favorite day of an election year.
Dana Carvey had the best Al Gore.
Fuck yeah, he did. Fuck yeah, he did.
Scary.
Who was it? It was the guy that was playing George H.W. Bush, and then they I remember the skit because they had the guy playing Michael Dukakis, and he stepped up, and then you heard the lift running as they lifted him up to the microphone so he could debate.
I remember it was Dana Carvey always did Al Gore and the Bush.
Yeah.
And Will Ferrell was Janet Reno.
Oh, God, yeah. Yes. What was it? David Spade that was one of the Clintons?
For some reason, no. Spade was out with Farley.
Right. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like, my God, where is that? I want that back.
I almost want to say Horatio Sands, but I know that's not right.
Could have.
That could be.
Could be.
It could be. But you get what I'm saying? Is like, where is that? I miss that. Where it's like, okay, yeah, we got to elect them. We got to take it somewhat serious. But here comes SNL to piss all over it and make us realize it's not the end of the fucking world how you vote. Vote your conscience.
Well, that is SNL's whole purpose for the weekend update is to take all your current events and just
piss all over
shit at them.
Yeah. I mean, my God, I think I'd vote for Mike Myers over half of these people.
Norm Macdonald. He did a great weekend update.
Yeah, he did. But I mean, there was so many great skits that went along that line. And it's like, what happened? I miss that SNL. And that was my favorite one. It was the SNL making fun of the politicians. I looked forward to that every year.
Yeah, I haven't seen a good political skit from them in quite a few elections.
Well, they did one during Trump Clinton, and it was right after the inauguration. And I forget who was playing Trump, but he's like, Mexico, you're going to pay for this wall. Oh, you're not. War.
Was it a Baldwin?
Might have been. It might have been a Baldwin. I don't think it was Alec.
Shit, me and my wife, we actually just went through the Baldwins earlier today.
Oh, wow.
Alec, Steven. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they literally made fun of how Trump was on the campaign, saying that was going to be him as president. You're going to tear down that wall. Oh, you're not. War. And it was hilarious. I also miss politicians that had a sense of humor about themselves.
Oh, Reagan.
Yes, absolutely. What am I referring to? Major motion picture. What am I referring to?
I have no idea.
Back to the Future. When he heard Christopher Lloyd, Ronald Reagan, the actor?
Oh, yeah.
Who's vice president? Jerry Lewis? The rumor is when Reagan saw that in the theater at the White House, he made them rewind it and play it again and laughed his ass off.
That would be great.
Oh, nice ham and beans. But you see what I'm saying? It's like Reagan had a sense of humor about himself. Like, hey, I know I'm not perfect. And, in the 50s, it would have been absurd to think that an actor would become president of the United States. He got the joke.
It was. And now, what did I read earlier? No, I'm not going to be able to find it.
I mean, what are they going to do if they remake Back to the Future? Who's president now? Donald Trump. Donald Trump, the billionaire? It doesn't have the same ring.
No.
I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. I know what we've got is not it. And it's got two ways it can go, and that's it, man. I think I'd rather vote for the Steve Stanton Prostitution Act, to be honest.
What?
But what do you do? What are you looking up?
I am watching semis jump cars, Evel Knievel style.
Oh, Jesus.
Like
tired of remakes? You want new original content. I agree, Tommy. It's part of why I'm writing this book. I'm so sick of all this remake or recycled crap. And I'm writing this. It's very loosely based on my own life. But it was one of the most important times of my life. And
damn it, Steve, you still out there?
I'm sure Steve is. I just don't know where he's at.
If he has a transmission for an S10, if he can get the transmission, I will come over there. I will swap it out. Be done with it. 4 hours. $300.
Yeah, Tommy's right. Everything that we've got coming out now is a continuation loop. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's why
I'm taking people from my own life and my own experiences And I'm taking creative license, and I'm taking some of our old stories, and I'm putting it together in a novel. And you could ask Adam. There has been a lot of work already that's gone into this.
Yeah, there has.
Now, Steve says that's a good deal, but I don't know if he's got a transmission.
Yeah, you'd have to supply the transmission.
But then, when I see and hear people making cracks like, oh, well, it's probably an autobiography and you got this many words about yourself. Fuck you, man. You have no fucking idea what I'm doing. Then another one comes in today. Oh, does it got pictures? Because that's the only way you're ever going to write anything. You can fuck off too. This is something I'm actually putting a lot of work into, and I'm being very creative. I've got one of my best friends helping me with it, and to turn around and piss all over my work before anybody sees what the fuck I've done, fuck off.
The best way to go about that when people are hating on what you're doing is be like, just wait.
Yeah, I mean, it pissed me off, honestly.
Yeah.
It's a 90 Chevy, Steve.
He says he's got a lead on a transmission. I hope he gets it, but
if it's a 90s Chevy, old school Chevy, it's 4 3/8 bolts to pull the drive shaft off, slide the drive shaft out, 9 9/16 bolts connecting the transmission. Make sure all your wires and cables are disconnected. Pull it out, new one in. 9 bolts, 4 bolts, connect everything.
And then you're done.
Yep.
But I mean, Chris, you get what I'm talking about when I'm bringing that kind of stuff up, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm actually very excited to be doing this. This is something I have put off for years. I've been wanting to do it. I've been trying to figure out how to do it. I finally just decided to dive headfirst in and start writing. And I'm coming up with stuff that is actually going great, It's
got to be going better than my internet.
Obviously.
It says you had to visit some aliens.
Yeah, I came in the second time with that. I just had to dip out again, apparently.
But yeah, I've had people that have been crapping all over this, like since I started. And I'm going, wait a minute. You know what? You don't even know a third of the shit that I'm writing about. How are you going to sit here and crap all over something you don't know?
Yeah.
You never know. This might turn into the next hit.
Yeah, you never know. Well, and like you said, it's a continuous loop. Me and someone else, we were trying to think of things that have never been done on the internet for a show. Couldn't think of nothing. Every time we had an idea, we'd look it up, and sure as shit, it's been done.
This is stuff that I personally either heard about or I experienced in the time I was down there. So 2/3 of what's going in, I'm going to say 90% of what's going in this book is not made up. Are people and events and details changed? Absolutely. I had to do that for the creative process.
Yeah.
See, I thought about writing my memoirs, and then I thought, half of it would be unbelievable. I don't believe I did half the shit I've done, and I was there to do it. And then the other half, I think, would just scare the shit out of people.
Write it as a horror novel.
But
you know what I'm saying is, like, again, I'm sitting here the same way. Chris, you've heard part of the stories from Las Cruces. Some of it, I know you've even asked me, like, bullshit, did that really happen? I'm like, fuck yeah, it really did. Zit Boy.
Yeah.
Also the same guy who ended up having sex in the on-air studio and bumping the microphones on so it went out over the air.
Fucking idiot.
And then wondered why I was cracking up when the girl he was with said, "Oh, I would, but the condom tastes bad."
Wow.
These are stories that are going in this book.
If the condom tastes bad, you got to reflect on where that condom has been.
Well, it's not like condoms are meant to be meant for,
I've never seen a condom designed for flavor.
Yeah.
Wow, where the fuck have you been?
Under a rock.
They got strawberry flavored condoms. My wife likes the banana flavored ones.
Oh, I bet.
Mm-hmm.
No, they actually have flavored condoms.
About an innuendo.
They have them in flavors.
Talk about an innuendo. Oh, my wife loves the banana flavored condoms.
They come in all shapes, sizes, colors, and flavors.
So what would the one be for the micropene?
Thimble size.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just had.
Well, what would the flavor be though?
Stuff earlier. Huh?
What would the flavor be?
Blueberry.
Blueberry. I figured you were going to say that.
You thought I was going to say grape.
No, I figured you'd say blueberry. It was either going to be blueberry or raspberry.
Blueberries.
So I figured you would have went raspberry too, because then she'd look and go and leave.
What are you going to do with that thing?
Please me.
Oh, shit. There was one day I was telling my wife earlier when I worked at the transmission shop over in Bremen here. Me and the boss are riding around and we spotted some girl on a Harley. And he's like, dang, I've never seen her or the bike before. But man, she'd be fun. Bike. And I thought, after riding that fucking bike all day, what the fuck are you going to do?
Now, see, there you go. Tommy's right. After a certain age, and he's 56, you don't concern yourself with condoms. It's more interested in condiments.
Yeah.
Yeah, like mayo, ketchup, mustard, sauerkraut. Mike says, hey, all.
Hey, Mike.
No. He said, hey, Adam. Hey, TJ. Totally forgot Chris was here.
Well, that happens.
Then again, I don't put my name out there. People just call me the god of tits.
There you go. Yeah, Tommy hits another one. Salsa. Salsa's good.
Yeah, salsa.
I don't know that I'd want to get that into certain areas.
Are you happy he made it separate?
I'm happy. I'm recognized.
Do we need to make sure that you're separate? Oh God. Talking about condiments, here comes Steve. Whipped cream, chocolate syrup.
Oh, Steve, I got something for you. I got a jar in my kitchen of weed-infused honey.
THC-infused apricot jam.
I can get it.
I bet that is delicious.
I've been wanting to try the ice creams now that they finally got them coming out onto the market.
Wait, THC infused ice cream?
Yep.
Oh my God.
And cure the munchies while getting stoned.
Or you're just going to make it worse and end up with a fucking ice cream headache.
No wonder there's a problem with diabetes and obesity in this world.
Yeah, it came from Oklahoma. THC honey, I need this in my life and coffee, says Tommy. Oh, and there goes Chris to prove it. Like, no, I've got this.
This episode of Mayhem's Amigos is not sponsored by THC. What Chris brings back from his kitchen.
This episode is not brought to you by THC because I cannot partake.
I can't do tell without a little show, show and tell.
Adam, what the fuck? You're logging in again?
from my computer, not from my tablet.
Oh, okay. So you got your computer fixed.
Yeah.
I got to heat it up some. It's been kind of sitting chilling in the cupboard, but it's fucking bomb.
Steve says he's had THC infused root beer.
Yes.
Really?
I've had the root beer. I've had the Dr. Pepper. I've had the cherry cola. I've had the assortment of beverages.
Might have to try the THC infused cherry cola with Crown Royal when I am no longer driving with the CDL.
No, the last time I went up to Illinois, I sat down at my stepson's house and drank a 6-pack of THC infused Dr. Pepper.
Tommy, I would be willing to bet that all you've got to do is get to Colorado. Corey,
root beer is really good. It tastes like root beer.
Well, why don't you review some of these? I'll be right back.
Well, that's the cool thing about the sodas is they've made them correct to taste. Like the Dr. Puffer does taste like Dr. Pepper. The root beer does taste like an actual root beer. It's really good. Plus, I've had all of the sodas. I've had 3 different of the tonics. Personally, I like I think it's the blackberry tonic. I've had the Rice Krispie treats. They're really fucking good. Personally,
do they just mix it with the THC oil, or how do you think they do that? Do they just mix it with the THC oil?
Yeah, they extract the THC oil and mix it, or there's various ways of doing it. Like your gummies, they'll do with the oil. Personally, I'm a big fan of the huckleberry gummies. But now, like your brownies and your cookies and stuff like that, you can actually grind your flour up to where it's like flour-like consistency.
Okay.
And that's actually how my buddy taught me to make brownies way back in the day, was that way. Because back then we didn't have all the extraction and all the other stuff to be able to cook a lot more than we did. If you wanted to extract something, you basically made butter, which is a process that can be real messy. So yeah, I like baking with flour.
Tommy's saying that he actually goes huckleberry hunting up there in Montana.
Oh, fuck yeah. I love huckleberry.
And Steve says that he has THC butter and coconut oil. Corey says add some THC-infused ice cream with the THC-infused root beer and have yourself a THC-infused root beer float.
There you go.
Yeah, but the ice cream is really, really, really hard to get.
Is it?
It is. Very few places have it. Very few places can store it.
Well, I know one thing that wasn't getting stored. I had to piss like a racehorse. There was no storing that, and I don't have an empty bottle near me, or I would have just been like, well, fuck it, I'll piss right here.
Yep, there you go, listeners, just in case you were curious.
Oh, no, just, one of the stories that's going to wind up in this book is when I had to do Montana. He's up in Kalispell.
Wherever that is.
Damn.
Like up by Yellowstone?
Tommy says he's come face to face with a couple black bears while huckleberry hunting.
Wait, no, Yellowstone's not. Oh, wait, Yellowstone is in Montana.
Let me see. I got to bring up the map now. I don't remember off the top of my head.
What'd you say the name of the place was?
Kalispell.
Well, it's not big enough to be on the map.
Bullshit.
Just look it up on Google Maps.
That's what I'm doing right now. Far northwest corner by Glacier Park.
Oh, okay.
K-A-L-I-S-P-E-L-L.
See, I would have spelled it all kinds of wrong.
Oh, yeah, you're good at that.
Not usually, but when it's like cities and stuff that I don't know. Northwest corner by Glacier National Park. There's actually a town called Tobacco.
Yes, there is.
Cool.
See, there's Flathead Lake. Evergreen. Helena Flats. It does look like a cool area. I'm looking forward to being able to go up and visit. Oh, and it's not too far from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and Spokane, Washington. And it looks like if you go a little further north, you could go up and see those. You can go up and see those Canucks.
Get yourself a bumpers, eh?
And Tommy says he lives in Keela. I don't know if it's Keela or Kyla. K-I-L-A or K-E, it's K-I-L-A is the name of the town, but
Kilo?
K-I-L-A.
Not 2.2 pounds per key. Okay.
Wow, that really is in the middle of freaking nowhere.
Hey, but that's the best place to be, I love the middle of nowhere.
You get left alone there.
Keela?
I've actually heard that there's a spot in Yellowstone where it's like no laws exist because of the way it's set up. There's like no jurisdiction to convict anyone of anything.
Yeah. There is.
Somebody's going to have jurisdiction.
Nope. There's a little swath of land, and it's referred to as the murder zone, where you can go and kill someone, and nothing can be done about it.
Well, why was this never brought to my attention?
Because of what you would do with it, TJ.
I'm glad it was never brought to my attention until a couple of years ago. Kilo.
Tommy says that's on the Idaho border.
Yeah, I just had it pulled up.
How dare you insinuate that I would use that area for anything nefarious?
Hey, anything that happens there, it's alleged.
I might send somebody I know and a dead ostrich out there, but
Smith Lake.
Oh, they don't have enough people to form a jury. Oh, wow.
Yes, that's what it is. The largest lake in Tommy's area is, well, Tommy lives right next to the smallest lake in his area. Actually, no, there's smaller ones, but that's pretty small.
So does that mean, all right, let me see if I can get a scenario here. Does that mean that if Steve went to that area with THC infused lube and masturbated in public because they cannot form a jury, he would not be convicted?
I don't think there would be much of a public to masturbate in front of.
I'm just saying. I'm trying to think of something that might be actually funny.
Well, I'm looking at Keela, Montana.
Okay.
Here on Google Maps, and I'm thinking, Tommy, what are you scared of? Just go get some weed and take it home, dude. There ain't no fucking cops there.
But I'm just, I'm looking out for Steve. Like if he can go,
you literally have 3 streets in Keela, Montana. And maybe 4.
Tommy says Flathead Lake is the largest natural lake east of the Mississippi. Tally Lake is pretty close.
Yeah, but you're right next to Smith Lake.
Look, our lakes may be man-made, but I don't fucking care. They're still lakes.
Hey, we got the land between the lakes here in Kentucky. We're real special.
Tommy's like, weed is legal. He just doesn't know where to get the THC honey.
Wait, weed is legal in Montana?
Evidently, it's legal in Montana. He just doesn't know where to get the THC honey.
Make you some.
Yeah, go get some bees and make some. That's
yeah. Here you go. Where
you don't even need to go get some bees. Just find someone that has beehives and makes their own honey and stuff, and get some honey from them and take it home and infuse it.
No, wait. I'm going to follow this logic a little bit. So, where do you get THC bees?
Well, now you don't necessarily get THC bees, but if you so happen to have your little grow patch right next to your beehives, the bees will pollinate. And when they go back to their hives within the honeycomb, they will have little trichomes of weed on their feet wherever they go.
That's not a bad idea. That's kind of a cheap way to infuse it.
It's not. And you know, all's honey really is bee poop and pee.
True.
Yeah.
Even if it does taste really good.
It does. It should be.
And Steve says he thinks honey should be easy to infuse.
You know, that I personally don't know. Be something to look into.
Yeah, it's a question.
Chronic Chris's THC honey.
Chronic Chris's THC corner. All right, so Tommy says, yeah, it is. It's legal, but it has to be grown in Montana for it to be legal in Montana. Oh, Lori says she wants to know if that's true. Is that really what honey is?
Yes, Lori. Yeah. That is what honey is.
That is exactly what honey is.
And then Tommy says he doesn't have a press, so how does he get the honey out?
You don't press honey. So is how they extract the honey from the comb is they got this little like thing they fit the cone in, and it's in this big like vat, and they just spin the cone so fast it flings the honey out and drains down into containers.
Lori has a comment about honey now.
I think Tommy meant the THC.
Oh, the THC.
Yeah.
Now, this is fun because there are many, many, many ways to extract THC.
Oh,
here we go. Get ready for THC class with Chronic Chris.
I really don't recommend, but you can always blast it with butane. So
hell no.
Now, butane, and there's a reason why butane is used in cooking and stuff, is because it is clean. So basically, you take a tube, and they got like blasting tubes and stuff that you can buy from head shops. Hook up a can of butane through it and just blast it on, and it drifts all the way down and through. And on the bottom, when it comes out, you let the butane just evaporate. It'll take a while to evaporate, but then what's left is your pure THC oil.
Pure THC oil.
Yes.
Oil, not
oil.
OIL.
Okay, that makes more sense.
ORAL.
I was thinking ORAL. Like that would be
Why
a numbing blowjob.
For that, TJ? Why are you hunting for that?
And the reason why I don't recommend it is just because butane itself is highly flammable. So one small spark and kaboom. Bye-bye, Tommy.
You could decarb your flour, just add bud to your jar of honey, and Steve thinks that would work.
Depends on how you're decarbing it.
Tommy said, check me for a stroke, so I figured I'd show him both hands.
I mean, if you're going to put it in the oven at like 350 for 5 minutes just to activate the THC, and then you just toss your bud in there, it really won't mix like that. You actually have to heat the oil, heat the honey, and mix it properly.
Like get the oil out of the bud and then mix it into the honey.
Yes. I do at least know that much about it. You can't just, it's not like using it as a flower for cooking. You can't just toss a bud in there. Okay. Don't really work like that.
So why am I thinking, what's another way? Tommy says on parchment paper.
Yeah, but still, either way, you can't just like toss the parchment paper. Now, if you got like a hair straightener or even like an iron,
a crimping iron, something like that.
Yes,
like clothes iron.
Yes, well. or even a clothes iron. The thing about that is, you got to have pressure on it. So, is what we had to do. Is one person has to actually stand on your iron to make sure you get the right pressure on it.
What the fuck?
And then another person, this is basically how you do a press without having a press. The other person is down there at your feet listening. And when the first crackle goes, get off it and get it off that heat, because now you got your oil on your parchment. And if you go any longer, you're just going to fuck it all up.
Dude, how high did you guys have to be to figure this shit out?
It's Chris.
Okay, yeah, okay, you got me.
You're always looking for stuff to do and projects and crap to work on. So, we had extra bud laying around. So, hey, let's figure out how to do this.
Steve says that he likes to decarb his bud in the oven 250 degrees for 10 minutes. In foil, and then spread on peanut butter and eat on crackers, and it's called a firecracker. And Tommy says his wife does, and sometimes he straightens out his pubes with her hair straightener. Don't tell her.
Straightening the short and curlies, huh?
Oh my God. Here, honey, I made sure you got some good dental
floss. You're going to be quick about it. $3.50 for 5.
I mean, I don't know much about this stuff. I don't make any hesitation as saying I don't know much about this stuff. I get what I know about this from Steve and from Chris, and it's like, wait, you can do that shit?
Chris has really been out of the loop since he moved to Kentucky. But yeah, I do get to go to Illinois to the dispensaries and stuff. But I mean, me and my brother, we used to go to Harvest Fest. We used to go to Denver. We used to go places.
But I'm telling you right now, straight out, right to your face, there's no fucking way I would let you stand on my iron.
Ann Arbor Hash Bash is pretty fun.
And Tommy says he don't know. He just buys his shit.
Understandable, Tommy. Understandable.
Same here. I got a guy, but sometimes I like going to Illinois just to have the menu.
Granted,
see. It's a lot cheaper just to go to a guy, and I don't have to drive hour and a half there, hour and a half back. But
not go to Illinois, spend less money, or go to Illinois and feed JB Pritzker.
Well, also I go to Metropolis, so I got to stop and see Superman.
Of course you do.
Hell yeah, you got to go. Can't go to Metropolis and not hit up a dispensary and then a comic book store.
So Mikey says Mikey wants to know how close you are to Paducah.
About an hour and a half.
But Tommy says local dispensaries have great edibles and vapes.
Right on. I seen Leonard Skinner in Paducah.
Oh, and 20% discounts for veterans.
Hell yeah.
As it should be.
Shortly after I moved down to Kentucky, a friend of mine from up north called me and, hey, I got an extra ticket for Skinner in Paducah. Want to go? Fuck, does the Pope wear a funny hat? Let's go. And dude, it was a great show. We were supposed to be in the stands, and all of a sudden, when Skinner was on stage, they're like, everybody in the stands, get down here. So you ain't got to tell me twice. I literally ran, and I was down in front for Leonard Skinner.
I don't blame you there.
The whole time running down there, he's hearing, get down, get down, get down, get down.
And that was when I could still move around a little bit better.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what, dude. Oh. So I do have a Rage update.
Okay.
Rage has completed his first 30 treatments of radiation and chemo. He has been transferred to a nursing home / rehab center in Carlinville.
Okay.
He's going to be there for the foreseeable future. His mental capacity has diminished. There are spots where you get rage, and then we have other times that he's like a 2-year-old that don't know how to speak.
So we get Rage or we get Larry?
Not even that.
No, not even that.
Heather was telling me that she dropped off a phone cord, charger cord for him. And when she dropped it off, he was talking to her fine. And then all of a sudden, it was like this switch went on. Lost all interest in all the conversation, everything. And they were actually very deep in a conversation. And he just started playing with the phone cord like he was a 2-year-old kid. Like even chewing on it and stuff like that. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. You know, kind of like if you would have handed a phone cord to your daughter, Adam.
Okay.
During the treatment, I can also report at this point that he did end up with blood clots at one point that actually killed the sensation in his legs. He has been, his legs have been 80% non-functional for the better part of 2 weeks. I know they're going to try to restore the circulation and get his legs working again while he's in the rehab center. When his wife gets back from her business trip in Maine, I do know that we are slated for another scan. Hopefully an update on where he's at, how and why. And I'm going to be very honest with you guys. This next scan is going to tell the tale.
Okay.
I actually heard from Spanky about it today. Spanky called me and wanted the same update I just gave you guys. What was going on with them, what was happening. And it's not been an easy time. Of course, his wife has to put on the brave face when she's in front of him. Yeah. When that's done,
oh, Steve.
Fuck.
Well, that's shitty.
Damn.
So I remember having conversations with Chris in the chat rooms and stuff on other podcasts, and damn.
No, I didn't.
I didn't know that either. Damn.
No, I did not know that Stice had passed. Stice was a big fan of a lot of the different stuff that we were involved in. I didn't know Stice well, but I did have the chance to speak with him on different occasions over the phone and whatnot. I'll tell you what, his not favorite person was Steve. But no, he liked to give Steve a lot of grief. I think, yeah, Stice was at the baseball game. If I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. He was.
So I did get to hang around with him at the baseball game. And this is right there. I mean, Steve doesn't know it, but right there is a lot of what I've been dealing with lately, and part of why I'm writing this book. There is so many of us right now that are just dropping. And it's difficult. I mean, it's difficult at best. My uncle last week, JD, Stice, Rage. I've got a couple of good friends, Marvin, my friend Kenny, my grandpa, my dad. This is all going to be within the next couple of years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like every time I turn around, it's another one. And I did not know that. My understanding from what I'd heard is Stice was doing okay. To hear that Stice dropped like that, holy shit.
Yeah, something like quick had to have happened to Stice. I mean, unless he was just keeping things to his chest and stuff, which could be.
Well, Stice was good about not saying a whole lot when things were going on. He didn't want to bring everybody down with what was going on with him. He wanted to have fun. He wanted to keep things upbeat. He wanted to give Steve as much hell as he could. That was Stice. So, damn. Yeah, that's no, Steve, I didn't have any. And I do remember that he'd had his foot amputated, but above and beyond that, son of a bitch. Talk about grinding the wind out of my sails there. Damn.
Well, after I go see Roy in Wisconsin, I'm going to go up to Montana.
Oh, yeah?
We're going to stay at... Where the fuck did I just see that? I got to find it again.
So you want to go see...
Stoner Creek Cabins in Lakeside, Montana.
So you want to go see Roy in Wisconsin, who basically takes everything creative that I work on and shits all over it.
Well, I'm going to see Roy in Wisconsin. He has donated a motorcycle for us to go pick up.
Right, that you're going to auction off.
Yes.
Oh, I was about to say, so then TJ and you both have a motorcycle, and is this donation coming to me? But apparently I'm going to have to pay for it if I want it.
Well, we're going to figure out how we're either going to auction or raffle it off. That's
all going to be for the Asgard charity, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would almost suggest get it painted and then do like a 3-month raffle. Sell off raffle tickets on the airs and then draw one.
Yeah, Tommy, it does seem like.
Yeah, Tommy, you're right. Absolutely right. Tommy says, not trying to be a downer, but is it him or after 2021? Does it seem like our friends have been dropping like flies? And he's absolutely right. Like Tommy and I have lost Mikey. We lost Nikki. We lost Ronnie. We know Rage is on his way going. We know Marvin's going. And now here's Stice. I've got family members that are going quick.
I sometimes going down the road, I feel like my friend Ron is still with me. Because when we were coming back from Florida, all across Tennessee, we were basically side by side with a 72 Roadrunner all the way across the state. And a day or two later, I'm sitting at home thinking, that was Ron. That wasn't a car. That was Ron making sure I got home.
Yeah, I miss Ronnie the Quick.
I think we're talking about two different Rons.
Yeah, we probably are. I miss Ronnie the Quick, RTQ.
Well,
wait, how can it be bad news and good news? Let me guess. Good news is Roy made a comment about me writing my book. Bad news is he shit all over that. Somebody who's supposed to be my friend and just craps all over anything I want to do. Mike said he found out his leg is acting up. Must be the center leg. Tommy says Lakeside is awesome. He has vacation property that way in Summers, Montana, and not on the water, but up on the mountain. Oh, great. Mike needs an artery replaced. Oh, boy. And my prayers, dude, but I don't know how well that's going to work.
I mean, we hope the best. Man.
Right. That's where I'm at. I mean, Tommy's right.
Made a little shelf up here for my friend.
And Mike said that they did tell him that he's got to have surgery, just doesn't know when yet. But it was caught in time to fix it.
Good.
Right on.
So, yeah, no, I mean, Tommy hit it on the head. He really did. And I don't know what it's like, but it's been like, since 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I turn around, it's somebody else.
But yet Keith Richards is still alive.
It's all the formaldehyde from smoking.
Dude's probably embalmed, walking around. Comes up this way, hit me up. So if God of
tits and wine, yep. Hit him up. Let him know you're there. Yeah, Tommy will show you a good time, dude.
Right on.
One of my favorite stories that will be it'll be in the second book. One of my favorite stories would be the dinner, not the day of the reunion at WQLZ, the dinner the day after. I have a friend, and Tommy was present for this. Now, Tommy and I have a friend who both emotionally, or all of the above, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically, is one of the most beautiful people on the earth, right? And she got hammered. And we're like, no. I must have been hit 3 different times by her in the head as we were trying to get her out to her car. And we're like, no, you need to let somebody drive you. I got it. No, really, we want you to get home safe. I got it. I mean, but getting her there, as far as bombed like that was fun. Because you feed her a little bit more, less and less of the filter was there. But just that whole evening, that was a blast. And I think my favorite part of it was when it was just me and her and Tommy right there at the bar, just having a couple together and getting to just have that time where it was the 3 of us to have a conversation. That's one of those memories that I cherish it for some reason. And I think it's also funny that my ex at the time got told by this friend to get the hell out of our faces. I knew I was in trouble then. I don't care now. That was funny. I was like, oh my God, this Smurf is going to kill me. She was 4'9".
Yeah, that's definitely a Smurfette.
I mean, we could have dropped the bar on her head and probably not found her. I'm surprised she could see over the bar. I mean, she was short. But whenever this was the thing with her, it's like she would give me crap. Yes, exactly. I think that was probably the most fun about it. She was getting very brutally honest with everybody, and keeping her quiet was not happening. And not to mention the dress. Oh my God. Like, talk about knockout time. When she walked in the door, I'm going, just absolutely gorgeous. This is one of my best friends. And I'm still like, holy fuck.
You had to put your eyes back in your head and put your jaw back up. And
I mean, just looked at me like, you need to drop that Smurf in a ditch. I'm like, oh, fuck. Did not like her from word go. Like, I hated her. I'm going, okay. But yeah, everybody, she was out and out brutal. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Rocky and his husband got her cracking up again, got everybody cracking up, smoothed it out. Yes, absolutely. And then me and Tommy trying to get her out to her car and going, no, you need to, come on, let's get somebody to drive you home. I don't need anybody to drive me home. No, you do. Damn. Oh, God, that night. And I was suddenly reminded that night that none of us are in our 20s anymore. Oh, fuck, I felt my age that night. God, I felt it. I'm like, oh, shit. But yeah, I drove me and the ex from there back up to Peoria. And we ended up staying. I think that was the last weekend I stayed in my house in Peoria before I wrapped up the sale on it. And I'll tell you what, there are a lot of things about that place. I really miss that house. But I'm glad I don't have it anymore. But yeah, that night was wild. And as far as this particular friend of ours, God bless her, but there was no holding her back. All right, Tommy, you have a good one. I hope that put a smile on your face remembering that night. Wow. That was one for the record book. So, and I'm like, I've got to figure out how I'm going to change names, how I'm going to change the scenarios, and get that written into the book, because it was like one of those flash in the pan memories to describe it and everything you went through. Holy crap. You know? Like there is still so much. I'm at chapter 5, and there is still so much yet to come in the first book. It's unreal. I've got the just the different stuff that happened after I went internet radio.
Okay.
That was insane. Absolutely insane. Like I've got, let's see. There was the condom tastes bad story. There was the zit story. There was the guys in waiting pools trying to prove who was laziest for concert ticket story. One of them even had a couple of turds floating in that pool. There was the hover round drag races. There was the trip into the adult entertainment store with my legs tucked underneath my butt and I was wrapped in a blanket, and me saying, "I'm sorry, but I was wondering if you have paraplegics gone wild." And I got kicked out by name because, oh shit, I forgot that the one working happened to be the daughter of another friend of mine, and she recognized me. Shit, there went that whole thing.
Uh-huh.
There's the night that we bought the Brokeback Mountain blow-up doll and put it in a taxi driver's seat. And then when she came in the next morning and opened that door, she saw the blow-up doll, dong and all, sitting behind the driver's seat and went, "Oh my God, that's actually smaller than a couple of guys I've slept with." You know, there was when the Fleshlight factory went in across the street, and then they brought us over a sample.
Oh, how thoughtful.
And the owner of the limo company immediately goes, "Well, I've got to see how well this works," and leaves the fucking room with the sample.
Jesus.
3 hours later, female taxi driver comes in. She puts her fingers in it. She goes, "Oh, why is it wet?" "I had to leave." I'm cracking up at this point. I had to leave. These are stories. There's the float trip down the river that I'm like, oh man, I don't need any sunscreen. I came back looking redder than a freshly cooked lobster waiting to have its thermidor removed. You know, car sales stories. There's lake stories. There's so much that is still yet to. All I've done to this point is just the setup and gotten into one or two of the early stories. And you've got 4 friends that literally met on a whim. They bonded over a bar. They got close. And they have been like family ever since during all of this.
And literally mayhem ensued.
Yes, absolutely. And let's make it even crazier. These 4 particular friends, the characters that are being written into the book are based on 4 real life people. Me, and probably the 3 closest friends I've still got to this day. One of them so close that I actually trust her with the manuscript to go back and then give me notes on how to improve it so it's ready for publish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not just punctuation. I mean, like, here, add this here, or take this away here. And let's really get it right. And why? Because she was there for a lot of that.
Yeah.
And then we have remained, the four of us have remained as close as family and in touch ever since. That's why this book is so important to me. I mean, how many people can honestly say they've done a fake orgasm contest on a college radio station? Me. What's even worse is a guy won it. Because he had the money.
I just got reminded that I got to go to the store.
Oh, you got to go to the store.
I got to go to the store.
Obviously. I mean, a fake orgasm contest live on a college radio station. I pulled it off. A guy won it, and he won it because that was the funniest fake orgasm I've ever heard in my life.
So, Chris, what from the story of a fake orgasm contest reminds you to go to the store?
The message that just came through my phone.
Oh.
Don't you
stop playing with your friends and go to the store?
Yeah. I gotta go deal with people.
Ha. That's all right. I got to deal with them tonight at FedEx.
It's okay. I got a plant that makes me tolerate them.
Yeah, well, I can't have anything that makes me tolerate them. Except I got the phones, so I don't have to get out of the truck and look at them either.
Well, once you get in the truck, you don't have to deal with people except for the other ones on the road.
And I don't even really pay attention to that. And the nice thing is if it goes okay, the good thing could be that I'm just in and out today and back home, and I can crawl right into bed as soon as I get home.
There you go.
Yeah. I used to drive truck too, and I didn't pay attention to other people on the road, but apparently that is not a good thing.
No, it's not.
There's a reason I don't drive truck anymore.
But yeah, this book goes through my years on the air, on internet, and what made me get out of terrestrial radio. And that's actually one of the next chapters coming up, is what made me get out of terrestrial radio and get out of it altogether. And I'll tell you what, it was a guy that was really decent to me when I started out, who turned out to be the biggest pecker weasel I've ever met in my life. He was also known as a program director.
Well, all right, folks. I'll catch y'all later.
All right, Chris.
All right, later.
All right, Chris.
But yeah, I mean, that whole story it's never been told, actually. And what happened and why I got out of terrestrial on the internet. And that I am not going to reveal that story. It's going to be in the book. The only hint of it is I will tell you that I was hired in there on the promise that within a certain amount of time, I would see a contract, a full-time working contract, and I never got it.
That sucks.
So it gives you an idea. And, I'm just like, come on, man. So you get you know where I'm coming from. It's like you're promised so much, you're coming in, it's supposed to happen. It doesn't.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I honestly didn't know what I should do at that point. Should I stick it out and try to stay there? I wasn't really happy. I wasn't doing what I wanted to do. Or should I try to find somewhere else? And I ended up making a call to a friend of mine back in Illinois who we sat down, we talked for about an hour, and he was the one that said, dude, if you're not happy, go internet.
Yeah.
The industry's dying. And that really kind of pushed the envelope and got me into internet work. But I also built my mobile DJ service around that, but I still had to maintain a regular job because I had to keep my guys paid so they didn't have to maintain a regular job, which fucking sucked. But I had a good time doing it too. I had a lot of fun. I made decent money. I had a lot of fun. And honestly, that time in my life was such a positive experience. I cannot stress that enough, that it was such a positive experience. But it also did something else. It got me away from Illinois. And it got me to a point where I was able to really kind of move forward and get out of that rut of being within 100 miles of where I was raised. And I'll tell you guys something. Is once you get to that point where you can leave, you can lead your own life. And I'm not saying it is bad. There are a lot of people that will never do that. They'll never leave the area. They'll never leave where they were raised. Oh, they'll go on vacations. They'll go check this or that or the other out, but they'll never get out of that comfort zone. And I don't blame you. You know, I don't, but I'm telling you that if you don't get out of that comfort zone, the world that you are missing that is outside of it, you're leaving a lot of things that are on the table to chance. And all you're going to do is sit there and complain about the same stuff over and over and over again without getting out of that comfort zone. And the out of the 4 people that this is based on, 2 of us left Illinois, and we met coincidentally enough there. The 3rd one was raised over 200 miles away, and the 4th one was raised in Las Cruces. And oh, there you go. You're going to be in Dallas. That's not my neighbor. But what I'm saying is, you know, so many people don't leave that comfort zone and go see what's out there. And if your comfort zone is back where you were raised, and so be it, go back, but give it a chance. And that was the one thing that time in my life forced me to do, because when I moved, I gave up the safety net. And when I gave up the safety net and said, look, I'm here. It's make it or break it, but it's on my own terms. And I'm either going to wind up starving or dead or in a ditch or whatever. I don't care. I'm not going back. It's make it or break it. It's got to take something drastic to make me go back up there. So when that happened, I made that decision and I took it on. Better, worse, and different didn't matter. And I literally had the time of the, I grew up a lot there. I had the time of my life there. I made friends that are to this day considered my family. I left everything on the table and left it to chance and came out okay. When I did finally return to Illinois, those that knew me before and those that knew me after, the ones that knew me after going back will tell you very pointedly, I was not the same. And I was not happy there. And the book is going to give a lot of reasons as to why that was the case, which I'm very excited for. So to turn around and have people that literally drop trowel and shit all over something that I'm actually very excited that I'm doing. That just makes me, again, throw everything to the wind. I'm going to keep fighting through it and get it done right. And when this thing turns out fan-fucking-tastic, then I'm going to put on some rubber gloves, pick your shit up, and throw it right back in your fucking face. Like a scat man. Adam is obviously ignoring me right now. Like, no, I'm not biting this. Yeah, I mean, Mike's saying it right there. Illinois is becoming a shithole in a lot of different ways, and me leaving again was, but it wasn't just, you think back to Illinois 2005, 2006. Think back to it then. Was it really all that bad back then?
Well, I know when I left for Wisconsin, there were a lot of benefits to leaving.
Right.
And the only reason I came back to Illinois was from my parents. And now I'm dealing with the stuff going on with my mom.
Right.
So I'm glad I came back. However, that was the only reason I came back.
But I'm saying you go back to '05, '06, '04.
Yeah.
'05 mainly, 2005. Let's look at that year. Was that really that bad back then? Springfield was really clean. Rent was inexpensive. Gas, groceries was competitive. Cigarettes were fucking high, but they've always been that way.
Yeah.
But you see what I'm saying is there was a lot of benefits to being in Central Illinois in 2005. There was plenty of work. Compare that to today. I mean, how many places in Springfield, Litchfield, Bloomington alone have closed down? In 2005, Mitsubishi was still running full bore. Shut Sports in Litchfield was going crazy. You had multiple different jobs, not only just jobs with the government, but industry jobs in Springfield. You had everything there. And 10 years went out like a light. No, I got to be honest. When I left and I decided in 2005, 2006 that I was going to go for broke, it was make it or break it in Las Cruces, and I was going to make a life one way or another. I did. I threw caution to the wind. I made a hell of a life. And I went back with those experiences and smarter for it. And better for it. And I think that's the moral of where this entire story is going to round out. Because remember, this book is just part 1. Part 2 shows what I dealt with when I got back. Part 3 will bring us up to right when I started this one. But part 1 could be a standalone. I may decide I'm not going to finish the other 2 after doing this. Like, fuck you. I beat my head against the wall enough on this one.
Just depends on how it goes, right?
Right. But then again, it may be like one of the best experiences I've ever had writing this one. I go, fuck that. I want to do the rest.
Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, it gets the stories out that you and your friends shared.
Oh
that
God,
may not have otherwise came out.
well, and I mean, and some of them were definitely past statute of limitations, so we're okay to tell them now. I mean, I think we're definitely past statute of limitations of defecating on somebody's vehicle. I believe we're there. I mean, we're talking, yeah, we should be there. I mean, it's been over 15 years.
Yeah.
Let's see. I need somebody who knows a lot about defecation. Oh, Steve, 15 years, is that past the statute of limitations for defecating on somebody's vehicle? If you have an answer, please let me know. Oh, if he's even in the chat room right now.
I don't even know that he pays attention to statutes of limitations.
You're
when
probably
he says
not. You're probably right. You're probably right. Yeah, I got to admit, though, I was pretty upset when I started hearing people popping off about it, like just making fun of the work that I'm actually putting in, because I'm actually putting a lot of hard work into this. And it not only pissed me off, it fucking hurt. Now, here you guys are. You're either questioning my intelligence or you're questioning my abilities. Fuck you on both counts. And I'm smart enough to know what I don't know. And that's the other part that they don't like.
Yeah.
So have you got anything to add for tonight?
No, not really. Things have just kind of I've been so immersed with my mom's care and stuff.
Is she doing better now?
Yeah, she does have a release date, but it's to go right into a rehab facility.
Okay.
But it's not in the hospital. And she is making forward progression.
Good.
So they're telling us that if she keeps working, there's a chance that within about 18 months, she could get everything back.
Now, I did get a private message a while back, and Steve wanted to know if your mom was single.
I'm not going to dignify that with an answer. So
talk about your roundabout.
Yeah, so she's my mom. I'm going to leave it there. Steve's question will fall on deaf ears.
Oh, okay. So. I mean, hey, you never know. True love could spark.
No. Not there, it's not. No.
Really?
Nope.
You're going to do everything you can to prevent that, huh?
I am not going to let it.
I mean,
Listen, Steve deserves love. It's not going to be from my mom. Okay. I do not need a stepdad this late in life.
Oh, man. You wouldn't want stepdaddy Steve? I mean,
no.
Stepdaddy Stain. I mean, there you go. What do you do then? I mean, I could go a lot worse with it, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave that right there. No, we're not going to go there, but I wanted to plant the seed of thought, just in case it might be an option, because I think they could make each other very happy.
No. I know my mom. No. No.
No?
No.
I mean, you know what kind of a party animal the Stain is.
Yeah, the Stain can keep his party there. I'm not the one to take away Steve's party. It's just not going to include my mom.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it was a thought.
Yeah.
Like I said, I didn't want to limit the option. It could have been a match made in heaven.
No, it wouldn't have. But I'm sure Steve appreciates your try.
I did. Hey, he's got to give me credit. I tried.
That's right.
I tried, Steve. I tried for you. Mm-hmm. I was shot down all the way.
Yep.
So I did give it a try.
You tried for your friend.
Smart choice.
Yep.
Yeah, I look out for my friends, whether they believe it or not. They love to crap on me, but I look out for them.
It's like, listen, if you don't ask, the answer is automatically no. So
I did ask for my good friend Steve, because I figured they've got to be right around the same age, and hey, might be a fit. No. And you're telling me no? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it was worth a shot.
Yeah. And you tried.
I mean, I hate seeing the stain unhappy, but
well, the stain needs to move down the road and find someone else to,
Well, hey, I'm looking out for him.
Yeah, you are.
I was hoping I could help him find some love. All 3 seconds of it. And that's with foreplay.
2.5 seconds of foreplay.
And on that note,
I swear that never happens.
Oh, Lord. Oh, God. Oh, my God. This has been this Sunday's edition of Mayhem's Amigos. Mike says, Steve, go to the Curve Inn. You'll find somebody. I have to pay her a little bit.
Yeah.
Might have to pay her a little bit, but, that's part of why we're trying to pass that act.
Yep.
Adam, your final thoughts tonight.
I don't know. Come check me out on Weird Frequencies. I hear we have a special guest tonight.
Oh, you're going to be on there tonight?
Yep. I am allowed back.
Oh, wow.
And tonight's guest is Sean Valent.
Back from the dead?
But come check out the show. Hopefully it'll be a good time. I'm thinking it'll be like 8 or 9 is when it starts, Mike.
Say that's usually about it, right?
Yeah. So,
Adam's not in charge of that show, Mike, so just pay attention to their Facebook page.
Well, I mean, I could probably send the YouTube link.
Oh, maybe.
Or I could share it on my page. I will do what I can, Mike.
Well, there you go. This has been this week's edition of Mayhem's Amigos. Of course, Chris has had to disappear on us and go grocery shopping.
Yeah.
We will be back Thursday night, another road edition of Amigos After Dark, where I'm going to be out working again. I'll explain all that nightmare on Thursday. That's a mess, how that came about. In the meantime, everybody, be safe. Take care. We hope that everything's going well for you. We're trying to keep things up in our universe, and we will see you next time. I'm TJ. That is Adam. This has been Mayhem's Amigos. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.